Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. All right. So this is the daily forecast for all signs. It's a shared collective reading. So basically you can sort of take what you need and leave the rest. If it applies or fits in your life, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Nothing's wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. The reading was originally created for Wednesday, the 4th of August, but if you're seeing it on a date other than Wednesday, the 4th, that's fine. It may be the message that you need when you're seeing it rather than when it was originally created for. Please check out the drop-down menu on the daily video on my YouTube channel. In there are some housekeeping notes. Also, a little bit about the decks that I use, where to find me on social media, my Facebook business page if you want to follow me there. Also, you can send messages there if you have questions about private readings. Other ways that you can support the channel that are greatly appreciated. If you guys don't, leave her alone. Other ways of supporting the channel is hitting the thumbs up button. Leave her alone, please. She wants to be left alone. She's old and tired. It's too early in the morning. She's going to start snapping at you. Leave her alone. You don't get the cues. She doesn't want to be romanced by a younger guy. Sorry, my puppy's like in love with my older female dog, and she's just old and not having it. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you do subscribe, because that way you'll get notified when I go live or whenever new videos aired, stuff like that. All right, and leaving a question or comment on the video is appreciated too. I will read those and comment if they need it. I definitely like them, so that you know that I've read them. All right, so let's get into this and see what we've got going on with the cards today. We are working with the Grimalkin Tarot for the month of August due to the fact that it ends off Leo season. At the beginning of August, we're still very much in Leo season, so I thought I would honor that energy by using a cat deck. And I've been waiting to work with this deck for some time. If you want to see a little bit more about this deck, I do have an unboxing video where you can get a look at it there on the unboxing playlist. And so today's the Five of Swords. Meh. So the Five of Swords is not necessarily a bad card, but it is just not exactly the card that we were expecting. And that's kind of the meaning of the Five of Swords to me. In the sense that usually with the Five of Swords, it can indicate some sort of argument, a fight, a debate, a struggle, a power struggle more so, trying to win somebody over to our side or to our way of thinking, to our way of seeing things. Sometimes we don't necessarily feel as though we get the outcome that was worth the amount of maybe struggle or work that we put into proving our point. Does that make sense? So to me, this is kind of like the lonely at the top card, we get our point across, or we maybe justify our behavior or our thinking, but we do so kind of at our own expense in a way, right? Like we maybe end up having to be alone because we've maybe alienated those that we've had to convince of, whatever our belief is or our take is on a situation. That's kind of how I perceive and look at the Five of Swords, right? It's definitely, there's some maybe hurt feelings in the Five of Swords. We could end up inadvertently hurting somebody else, or we could end up inadvertently getting hurt. I mean, you could be on either side of this scenario. So thinking about what I say, if it applies to you where you're not the one necessarily convincing, but somebody's proven their point to you, and in that proving of their point, they've sort of maybe lost your respect, that would be this energy, right? Or if you're the one that has felt as though you've lost the respect of another by trying to be right, that would be this energy, right? So if that applies to you today, or if you're in a situation where there is a power struggle going on, regardless of which side of that struggle you're on, be aware that winning it may come at a cost. It may not necessarily be so worth it in a way. We might feel a little bit lonely after the fact. There is a transitory nature to the fives, which means that this isn't going to last, or this feeling that won't necessarily last for long. There will be hopefully an ending to it. So that's good. Underneath this, we have sort of that star energy moving into the Three of Wands, which are both really positive cards in my opinion. So this argument, this power struggle, if you're in it, or if there's somewhere where you're feeling like you're not being seen, you're not being validated, you might be a little bit pissed about it, you can't necessarily let go of the thoughts around it, or vice versa. If you're on the other side of that and you're feeling as though somebody might be pissed at you because you're not seeing their way and you're just kind of over it, know that this too shall pass kind of thing. Know that it's probably better to lean more into that star energy of that centered piece of what we know to be true for ourselves, not necessarily needing to prove it to anyone else. Also, the optimism of the Three of Wands, or the opportunity to kind of look to the future, maybe plan ahead. Don't necessarily, I'm always telling you guys to get into the present, and I think that that's an important place to be, especially when we're trying to create our future. But the Three of Wands would indicate maybe a little bit of optimism, inspiration, or a willingness to take action to maybe move ourselves in a different direction away from whatever this might be. Try not to get too caught up in the the thoughts around whatever this situation may be for you, or this dynamic, and where you fit into it, right? Because those swords will pierce, right? Those thoughts will bother us. The swords is the air element. It is the mental plane. It is our thoughts, our, around a situation. So if we find ourselves in discord with somebody or something, or frustrated with it, or again, like needing to prove our point at the expense of maybe our own sanity or relationships, then we may want to kind of step back a little bit, look to that energy of the optimism of the Three of Swords, look to the peace of the star, understand, and there might be some of you that because of this discord, you're actually maybe needing it to create the peace of that star, right? Like ultimately this could be us like sort of pointing our swords at a certain person or situation and being like, no, not today. We can't do it anymore, sort of thing. That dog looks so sad in the background, though. Bothers me. I had a really weird dream last night that I lost Gus. It was like a nightmare, and I was very conscious in it, and I didn't sleep very well. It kind of stressed me out because I kept freaking out about trying to find Gus, and I kept going outside of the house to call him. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, but that was my dream, and I woke up this morning. I kept petting Gus this morning while I was having coffee, just telling him I was so glad he was here with me, because I was really stressed out in my dream. Okay. All right, so here is our card for the day. I love this card. This is beautiful. This is like the antithesis of what the Five of Swords represents, but this is card number 19, which is Shine. And what I love about this, to me, this reminds me of that star energy, because she's kind of lifting up, and that light is coming from her heart. Yesterday's grounding stone was love. That heart chakra is going to be where that love emanates from. The 19 is boils down numerologically to a 10, which 10s would be sort of completion of cycles. This could be about us sort of coming to a completion with a struggle, a discord, argument that we've maybe been in for a while, that we need to really look at, is this helping us or is this harming us? If it's no longer harming us, to me, the Shine card, if it's no longer helping us, to me, the Shine card indicates that it's time to wrap up this chapter, rise above it, show some compassion, whether that compassion is to the situation or to yourself. Find that compassion within yourself to either separate from the situation completely, stop maybe hurting whomever or yourself within the situation, let go of it sort of mentally if you can, and sort of rise above it, free yourself, release yourself from whatever this way may be. If you're that dog and you feel a little bit persecuted by someone else's thoughts or beliefs, it's time to again end the connection, hang up the phone, so to speak, step away from the daggers that may be pointed at you through somebody else's perceptions of you. They're just their perceptions of you, right? And if you're the cat, you need to give somebody a break. Let them out from underneath your judgments, in a way, right? or your expectations, because when that happens, there's like, it's not working for you really, nor is it working for them. Shine to me is about finding that compassion within yourself, for yourself, and then maybe for others, to have enough desire to want to achieve peace by letting ourselves or others off the hook, is the feeling that I get from this. Let's look at the grounding stone. And the grounding stone today, okay, is a focus on grounding in the idea or the principle of health. Our mental health first and foremost, obviously with that Five of Swords being there, but also our emotional health with the Shine card being there, being represented by the heart chakra. Also, I would say that could also play into our spiritual health, because our heart and our soul or our spirit are so sort of tethered to the heart chakra, because we have that light shining from her chest there. To me, this is about maybe healing our mind, spirit, and emotions. Thinking about our mental health, our well-being, and grounding in that and making that the focus. Again, that compassion that we see in that Shine card first needs to be attributed to ourselves first and foremost. We do that through grounding in, like, is this healthy for me? Is this argument or these thoughts that I'm having about, what I want to do to this person, or how I'm going to convince this person, or what I need to do to prove my point, are they helping me? Or on the other side of the spectrum, are these thoughts from someone else, or their opinions of me, or their expectations of me? If we're that dog in that card, are these helpful for me? Are they providing to my mental well-being? Are they providing to my emotional well-being? If they're not, we need to sort of ground in, okay, what is going to, I guess, heal me in a way by rising up out of it, by putting an end to it, by, like closing up this chapter, no longer putting in this fight. Because it's not serving us, right? So that is something to think about today. That is your reading for the day, I think. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This may apply only specifically to a few people who see it. I don't know. Please leave me a comment if this does make sense in your life. I'd be interested to know who's dealing with this, because this feels like a rather specific situation, regardless of which side of it you're on. But ideally, the beauty is that there is an opportunity here to rise up and to find peace. And that's also, too, that Shine card also reminds me of the glow of the star, right? That underpins this. The desire to move up, and the spirit connection of the Three of Wands also could be seen in that Shine card. It's out there for you guys. All right, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Check out your tarot scopes for the month of August, and have a wonderful day. It should be a really good day, even though, you might be dealing with this situation. All right, take care. Bye.